cry, but almost. This is like coming home, and I really appreciate and thank you for asking me to come here, Kathy, to do the installation. I asked John a few weeks ago if there was any kind of things I could say, remarks, and he said, well, we're kind of pressed for time, so it's kind of short, because we have a speaker from Boston coming, and Cape Cod. So I thought, well, I think I'll talk about one thing, and I mentioned this at the leadership conference the other day in my talk, but the speaker, Danny, took my words right out of my mouth, because I was talking about going to the water cooler, and everybody's telling how bad things are, when we should go to the water cooler and really talk positively how good things could be. So that took care of that. So then another thing I talked about was participation. And I'm just going to quickly talk about ECAR is good about having people participate, but there are a lot more people in our organization who could participate in committees and on a statewide level. So I'm going to just offer a challenge to you people. You all have big bucks. You're all realtors, self-employed contractors. So this year when you have your monthly meetings, I'm going to ask if you just call up another fellow realtor who you don't see at the meetings, but you might have had a deal with them, or you might have some kind of contact, and ask them to come to the meeting with you, to get them involved. And if you really want to be a big spender, maybe buy them lunch. Because we need new blood, we need new people, and if someone had to call me way back when to go to a meeting, I wouldn't be standing here before you tonight. So take the time to invite someone and get more people involved, because we need that locally and on a statewide level. And then I just want to say one little quick story. About a year ago, Deb Chamberlain and myself were going to a meeting, I think down in North Haven, and we were going to pick Samantha up in Old Saybrook, and she was going to ride down with us. So we pulled into the parking lot, and Samantha's there, and I see John Wolbeck in the back seat. But it wasn't John, it was John on a stick. So now you got the whole package, the whole body. Okay, so let's start, and I'll keep my remarks short like John asked you to do. Will the following newly elected members of the ECAR board and our staff directors please come forward as I call your name? And you can put your room to stand over here. Last night there wasn't much room where we were at. Like to drive to a parking lot, and I think John's going to be this. See him in the back seat waiting at him.
Imagine John Peck behind us. This is part of the video, and this has a very prominent place in my office.
Yeah, this was in context with the same video that Samantha was talking about. Okay, first of all, the new president for 2012 and state director Kathy Dupree of Dupree Real Estate, LLC. Next is President-elect and State Director Paul Higgins of Caldwell Bank, a residential broker. Secretary and State Director Mary Casabria of Caldwell Bank, a residential broker. Treasurer Elvin Kinzel of Randall Realtors. And immediate past President Happiness Samantha Story of REMAX, Social Sectors. Director and State Director Frank Bush of Performance Realty. Director Quincy Clayton of REMAX Property Consultants. Director Marilyn Lusher of REMAX Home Team. Director and State Director Joanne Pendleton of Crystal Real Estate. Here's a young man, I tried to get him on a committee, and now he's going to be a director. Director Ryan LaJoy of Johnson Associates Real Estate. State Director Marvin Elbum of William Ravis Real Estate. Unfortunately, the next person cannot be with us tonight, but State Director Gary Grimm of RE/MAX Coast and Country. And last but not least, State Director and RE/MAX Queen Laura Merrill of William Ravis Real Estate. You know what's great about being here is I know every one of these people. I have known. Okay. I'm going to say this to all of you. Would you raise your right hand? John didn't put that in the instructions, but raise your right hand, please. You are accepting leadership, which is of utmost importance. You have been elected this year as leaders of the Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors, are considered the leaders in real estate, and are knowledgeable about problems of our industry. Therefore, a greater responsibility rests upon you as the officers and directors. During the coming year, you will be identified as official representatives of our association by the business community and must therefore conduct yourselves, accordingly. In accepting a leadership position with ECAR, you dedicate yourself to work for the welfare of your fellow realtors and your community. In the coming year as leadership, you will enjoy many new and lasting friendships and will experience personal satisfactions that comes only through service, cooperation, and unselfish interest on behalf of others. Your reward will be great, but leaders know the balance of family, business, and association. Nurture all three, and you will have a great year. Now for the oath of office. This is where it says raise your right hand. Are they up? Okay. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise that you will administer the oath, the office or offices for the term to which you have been elected, to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the bylaws of the Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors, Incorporated? That you will observe and enforce the code of ethics of the Realtors and uphold and support the Connecticut Association of Realtors and National Association of Realtors, as well as supporting Connecticut Real Estate Commission and its enforcement of the license law. That all your acts will be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of our state, the high purpose of your association, and the welfare of its membership. If so, please answer, I do. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me as 2012 President of the Connecticut Association of Realtors, I do hereby proclaim each of you to be duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. Congratulations to all of you. You may now be seated. Thank you. It now gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce your new president for 2012. I don't know when she takes office. January 1, is it? But we're gonna call it Ms. Prez to begin with. So, Kathy, there you go.
John has to tell me what to do next.